Okay, class, take a look. Let's see where are we? Where were we? Okay, basically, class, let's take a look. We are in this part. We call it Adventitis Bhavanga. So before we go through to the Adventitis Bhavanga, let's take a look. Actually, we are in the chapter number 4. Okay, compendium of the connective. Let's see, compendium of the connective. Basically, in the connective process, class, if you remember, we have gone through a few important parts. So number 1, we understand that, okay, through the 5 faculty, that will trigger some cognitive process. Then we go to the mind door, okay? So class, then in the mind door, remember, usually all the 5 faculty have to go through to the mind door. In the simple way, after the nerve from respective faculty function, it has to trigger to the brain to the function, okay? Then besides this, we go through the pure mind door connective, meaning to say that it includes we have a wandering mind, then maybe the psychic, or maybe the connections between the Deva and us, and the ghost with us. All this is the pure mind door, and also the jhana, and also the vipassana. This is include, this will exclude all the 5 faculty, just pure the mind door only, just pure the brain only. So we have gone through all this. Okay. So let's take a look. Let's see first. Okay, then let's see. After this, actually, we have also gone through the rules for the rule for the javana and the rule for the tatramana. So let's take a look. So this is all this we have gone through. Okay. Then we talk about the different object with the different impact. Okay, so I think. You might not remember, but of course I remember so well. Then this is the mind-door process, okay? So remember, this is a mind-door process, okay? So after the mind-door, we talk about the rules regard the javana, so that is the absorptions. We have gone through all this, okay? Then, let's see first. Yes, a correlation with the absorption, all we have gone through already. Then let's see, a procedure of the registration, we have gone through also regarding the registrations, okay? Then today we are going to start the Adventitis Bhavanga. Regards the registration, there's one thing I wish to remind everybody. So class, I think maybe you remember that. Once we talk about the cognitive process, let's see, this is the connective process. Okay, so class, this is the connective process. This is the javana. Okay, then before this, they are the the 5 dot everything. Okay, the consciousness and the experience. Okay, investigation and determining. Okay, so all these according to the rule of registration. If you remember that there's one pair is kusala, one pair is akusala. Okay, meaning to say that if let's say this life, okay, your bad karma arise, you're going to meet somebody who you hate. So all this they will appear is the akusala. Okay. Anyway, you still can change your mind that okay. For example, like Elena hate Mrs. Leung, so you met her. So Abhidhamma say once you met Mrs. Leung, so the whole process, this is it turned out to be the akusala, the unwholesome for all this vibhaka. Okay, but javana you can change it. You can change it. Either you can change it become the good one, so that through yoniso manaskara, even though bad karma, Mrs. Leung you met, but it still can turn out have a good consequences. And likewise, class, if let's say when we say we met Buddha, class, it is considered good karma by meeting the Buddha. Yes, right? But for Christian, no. So once a Christian met the Buddha, for them this is the bad karma arise. Okay, because they hate Shakyamuni. Okay, for the Christian, I think Buddha or Buddhists, they are considered a demon, right? Because they don't believe, the religion. So this is what happened for them is, even though they met somebody we think is a good, but for them that is a bad karma. There still is a very bad to meet the Buddhists, even the Buddha, see. So we need to say that one thing is, we can change is the javana, and the definition of whether it's a good or bad karma, it really depends on the context one. Okay. So this is how to let you understand. Once we always said that, oh, my good karma arise, oh, my bad karma arise. You have to remember that once when you met the javana is something you can change, but the vibhaka is something you couldn't change. So just remember this. Okay. But anyway, for Buddhists, we are always emphasize that the javana we're supposed to change it. We don't let the bad karma to influence us. So we always through the unisomanskara, meaning to say that you think the good for that, okay, or maybe you think of good, or maybe through some meditation skill. So even though it's a bad karma, but your attitude is good, it turns out become a good karma. So remember that. So in Buddhism, even though the bhavanga we say, bhavanga is, usually we say that we can win the view of the heaven, the destiny, but actually we can only change within the scope of the bhavanga. So remember that. Because if you're inborn blind, without the nerve system in the eye, and inborn deaf, even though something wrong in your brain, it's very hard to do anything. So there's a vibhaka. We have to accept it, then see what can we do within the vibhaka. So, okay, class, remember? So that is our precept in Abhidhamma. Try to for us. So now we go to the next chapter is, if let's say your character is very, how do I say, optimistic. Okay. What happened that if let's say you create a quite bad mood, so how to, coordinate between your bad mood and but inborn you're optimistic. So we go to this to try to cover this. We call it as advantages of a bhavanga. So maybe Kok-Hung, can you please read the passage for me? Advantageous bhavanga, please.
The advantageous bhavanga, but at the end of javanas accompanied by displeasure, the registrations mind moment and the life continuum are both accompanied by equanimity. Therefore, in the case of one whose rebirth consciousness is accompanied by joy, if at the end of javana accompanied by displeasure, there is no occurrence of registration mind moment, then the teacher explained, there arises an investigating consciousness accompanied by equanimity, apprehending any familiar, trivial object. Immediately after that, there is subsidence into the life continuum. Guide to 18. But at the end of javanas accompanied by displeasure, etc., because pleasure feeling and painful feeling are diametrical opposites, chitta accompanied by the one cannot arise in immediate successions to chitta accompanied by the other. However, chitta accompanied by either of these opposed feelings can be immediately preceded or followed by chittas accompanied by neutral feeling. Thus, when the javanas are accompanied by displeasure, example, as chitta rooted in the hatred, if there is occasions for registration chitta, they must be accompanied by equanimity. If there is no scope for registration chitta, javanas accompanied by displeasure will be followed immediately by the bhavanga only if the latter is accompanied by equanimous feeling. Therefore, in the case of one, etc., for someone whose bhavanga is one of the four great resultants accompanied by joy, if there are no registrations chitta following javana process accompanied by displeasure, the last javana chitta cannot be followed by an immediate descent into bhavanga, owing to the law that citta with opposites feeling cannot arise in immediate succession. In such a case, the ancient teachers of the Abhidhamma hold that an investigating consciousness accompanied by equanimity occurs for the single mind moment, serving as a buffer between the displeasure, painful mental feeling of the jhana, and the joy, pleasant mental feeling of the bhavanga. On such an occasion, this citta does not perform the function of investigating. It takes an object different from that of the connective process, some unrelated sense-fierce object with which one is already familiar, and functions simply to pave the way back to the normal flow of root bhavanga. This special citta is termed agatuka bhavanga, the advantageous life continuum.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's try to digest this part. Wait lah, it becomes so big, I don't understand. Okay, check. Okay, how come like that lah? Tune the car. Okay. 呢個識得用啊！呢個啊好奇怪喎，意思我變到咁樣一 highlight 兩個 paragraph 啊，國空你識得用冇？呢個咁樣樣啊？
Sorry, Sifu, I don't know how to use that.
哦，你都唔識啊？嗬？你嗱識喎嚇？啊奇怪，一下就變到好剔咗喎。喂嗱，睇下先啦。 你啱冇用呢個係咪？好耐冇 office 做工，唔記得咗係咪呢啲啊？
師傅，the I use a very long way is always you exit and then you come back.
Okay, let me try 啦，出嚟就
師傅，Sally needs the log in. She just cannot log in.
Oh, Sally can log in. Can you help her? Let me try to handle this. Can you help her?
Yeah. Okay. I try to look for the.
Okay, let me handle here. Okay, so let me leave first. Okay, then come back again. What page? 202. Okay. Yes, 我哋可以炒晒窿中嘅 engineer 各空with this method 啦，窿中 engineer 炒晒佢哋去。Let me try again 呢個睇下點啊！今日啊好多嘢唔啱，唔使得咗，奇怪喎！點解畫唔到開？唉，有時佢哋 update 咗係咪？窿咗我哋用錢嚟賣 ，because 我哋都冇用錢嚟賣啊，所以變到係咪？哎呀，佢哋開始改 system 呢樣事。OK 174。The law of advantages 把運家啱唔啱先嚇？OK 都冇晒咗 ，OK 冇咪。個空好使得啊！你睇好咗啦所以刪開再開個就最好嘅 best way 嚟㗎啦。
師傅呢個係 IT specialist 教嘅一個 trick 嚟嘅。Anything happen, you restart your PC.
Yes, then we sack them, all the engineer慘我又唔得開喎，又唔得咗，唔可能嘢咁樣開再刪再開啊。Okay, try again. Ancient teacher hold the investigation of course. Javana to joy. Okay. Pleasant feeling. Okay. Different from community groups unrelated. Okay. OK 練啦，搞掂未？愛唔愛我俾咩Sally 入嚟啊
Yes, please. 我 send 咗嗰個 password 同埋嗰個 login，佢都入唔到喎。
佢都入唔到，睇先係靚啊。Sorry, can you send the link to this class？冇嘛，我哋用嚟用去都呢個啊，我先冇改過嘛用咗呢個 century 咗咯，我哋都咁樣係可能佢嘅 computer 定邊度有問題咯，所以講入唔到嚟嘛我哋用一個 century 咗都係咁樣用嘅啫Send the link to this class Okay, so let's continue Okay, class, let me try to tell you actually what is this relate about 係咁嘅 class 你睇下 喺呢度係咪佢有一個叫做 advantages bawanga 嗬，主要係 want to connect 啊嗬，呢 class is here is about the equanimity， 睇下 there's one equanimity here， and then if let's say the javana， you see the javana 嗬 is a domanassa 嗬 ，displeasure domanassa， okay 嗬 ，but the bawanga 嗬is the joy one，let's see， 睇下呢度先嗬，睇下先 no scope。Javana 嗬，Javana 我畫唔得晒，求其畫下嗬，by the displeasure 嗬，OK 嗬，class 啊，what does that mean 啊？嗬，佢意思係咁嘅嗬。You see, this is a connected process class. 佢係指係咪 ？Here is the javana, okay. Here is the registration. Registration mean the tatramana, 嗬，係咁嘅。我哋有時係咪 ？This is our bawanga. The bawanga, if let's say inborn, we are optimistic, so meaning to say this is the joy. You see or not? This is the joy. You see, but after let's say we have a negativity, 係咪？ So here is all become the javana becomes a displeasure one. 咁你 displeasure 係咪 ？Then how can you go back to the bawanga which is optimistic? So this is quite impossible. So there will be two we call it as advantages which is the equanimity to join both the displeasure of the javana and the pleasure. The pleasure vibhaka together. So we need one of the equanimity to join both together. So that is the meaning for here. 明冇？because if let's say inborn 你係個好optimistic 嘅人 ，so according to abhidhamma your vibhaka must be the accompanied by the pleasure one 咁樣樣But 如果我好嬲係咪？依家我好嬲，我嬲完之後係咪 ？Then after the javana we'll go back to the bawanga again. Then balance because 你嬲係 displeasure but inborn my nature 係 pleasure 嘅喎。咁所以我哋中間一定要有一個 equanimity to become the bridge to cross it。所以呢個我哋叫做 advantages。我哋講 inborn remember 我有講過係咪 ？Bawanga concept is very abstract， 好艱難明白嘅。The only thing we can try to understand is if let's say for example one day you go to very deep sleep, all the faculty you don't involve any faculty 咁係咪 you will be in that state but you're still alive. You're still alive, but all the faculty stop already. So that's why Abhidhamma said that you must have a bawanga to sustain your life. So in the modern day, in the simple way, I think must be the stand brain involved. Because as long as stand brain is evolving, is still moving, is still living, then your life continuum will be sustained. So this is how the concept of the bawanga appeared. We try to talk about it. But usually daily life hou can and feel because all the time our faculty from one change to another one, from one change to other one, moving go. So we quite hard for us to experience the totally, in the bawanga state, except meditation accidentally fall in. So what happens if you accidentally fall into bawanga? Basically, you feel the time and the space stop. You don't feel any time and space. Maybe you thought like, wow, maybe I'm in a very high level. No, actually it's the bawanga. Bawanga actually is the vibhaka. We call it as this is they are not the karma. They are neither karma neither karma nor the vibhaka. So this we call it as a bawanga 咁樣嘅狀態。Okay, next let's take a look. So we continue for the next paragraph. Okay, we go to the law of the registration. We try to understand the tatramana. Yeah, Mr. Long, can you please read the passage? Likewise.
Likewise, they hold that registration occurs only at the end of sense sphere javanas, only to sense sphere beings only when sense spheres phenomena become objects. Registration occurs, they say, in connection with clear and very great objects when there is certainty as regards sense sphere jhavanas, beings, and objects. Herein, this is the procedure for registration. Among the jhavanas in a limited jhavana process, the sense sphere jhavanas run only for 7 or 6 times. But in the case of a feeble process such as at the time of dying, etc., they run only 5 times. To the exalted one, at the time of the twin miracle and the like, when the procedure is rapid, only 4 or 5 occasions of reviewing consciousness occur, they also say. In a limited jhavana process, that is, in a sense sphere cognitive process, the general rule is for the jhavanas to run 7 times, though if the object is extremely weak, they may run only 6 times. In the last jhavana process, proceeding death, and the commentators add, at times such as fainting, the jhavanas run only 5 times because of the weakness of the heart base. To the exalted, etc., the twin miracle was a feat of psychic power the Buddha performed on several occasions during his lifetime, when it helped to inspire others with confidence in his enlightenment. By this miracle, the Buddha displays his body as emitting streams of fire and water simultaneously. He performs these feats by entering into the 5th jhana separately in quick succession, in the fire kasina and the water kasina, and then determining to display fire and water issuing forth from his body. After emerging from each jhana, the Buddha reviews its factors, and he does this by an extremely rapid jhavana process which runs from only 4 or 5 chittas. While the twin miracle itself is exercised by the 5th jhana, direct knowledge chitta, the revealing of the jhana factors is performed by a sense sphere process, the quickest possible in the sense sphere. The sublime jhavanas for a beginner during the
Mr. Leong,
first...
Mr. Leong, never mind, I can stop a moment. Let's try to digest this part
Okay.
first. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Raise hand, please, once you finish. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Class, let's take a look. We have to come back for this diagram. Okay. So this diagram, class, okay. So this is the, we call it as a deaf, how should I call it? Deafling consciousness. This is the deaf. So, before we pass away, there must be some deafling consciousness appeared to show that we die. Okay. So for this, we call it as a cognitive process. The javana we see will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, because before we pass away, the moment is very weak. But if compared the normal, okay, the normal. So I think I better go back to the diagram in English. Okay. So class, can you please go to this? Okay. Normally, if let's say we are alive, the life cognitive process is about is a 7. Please take a look to the diagram. Okay, chapter number 3, chapter number 4. In the page, I think is 155. Let's go to the page 155. Page 155. 155. Okay, so class, take a look. So this is the diagram we are referring to. Basically, for this, you see, this is the javana. They will be from number 9 to number 15. So we got 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 javana. Well, what is the implication for this 7 javana? Basically, once the javana got 7, meaning to say that there will be totally 17 citta arise. If the 17 citta arise, meaning to say that it will be a very great impact. It must be a very strong object or great object. So we have a 7 javana. According to the rule of javana, for example, 7 javana, the first javana, the vipaka will be, the vipaka will be created within this life. If let's say this life, it doesn't create, become fruitful, then it will go on. Then the second javana will become the next life. It should be, bear the fruit in the next life. If without bearing the fruit, then it will null and void. Then the middle, we got 5 more javana. These 5 javana, the effect can go to the indefinite of our lifetime. So that's why there's one story. I don't even know whether you have you ever heard about. It's about the Mongalana. You remember Mongalana before he passed away? Okay, he had been hit people by the theft by using the hammer, and then the whole hit crushed. Have you ever heard about that? Okay, why it happened now? You got psychic one. It's because 500 years ago, Mongalana. He collaborate with his wife, have a conspiracy to kill the parent. Actually, the idea is from his wife. So they pretended, the discussion become the theft. Okay, then they bring the parents to the jungle. But the parents all blind, So they pretended become the theft and it's going to kill them because he had been propped by his wife because his wife want to get all the asset from the old folks. But anyway, the parents for the Mongalana 500 years ago, he said, "Hey, son, please go. Somebody want to kill us, you see." So Mongalana start to feel regrets. He noticed that how come I pretended become the theft. I want to kill my parents, but in my parents' hearts, in my parents' heart, just have me only, you see, just want to save me and even ignore them, their safety. So he regret. So he didn't kill. But anyway, that bawanga carry the effect after 500 years become this life. So once Mongalana, he tried to run away, One people want to kill him, but he got psychic. But finally he noticed, no matter how I run, I cannot run. Because this 500 years ago, I tried to kill my mother, even though finally I didn't kill. But the consequence is there. So he just let the bandit just to to hit his head and to crush down. So that is the effect of the bhavanga from number 2 to number 6. It will be proceed for an indefinite of the future. But anyway, we don't worry. The reason is because even though number 1, the great impact is not very much. Usually in one lifetime, not very much, either good or bad. Okay, but even though we got the bad one, but we create a lot of good one. So they will offset together. So as a Buddhist, we don't worry the past life, whatever bad deed we have done, we don't worry. What we worry is this life we didn't do enough the good one. That is something we worry only. Okay, get it? Okay, again we go back to the Javana. Usually Javana got 7, right? So class, I tell you already, the first, they say the first and the number 7, they play their own role, even the number 5 one. But it could be 5 only, class. What happened is only 5 only is because if let's say this is the last life, we call it as a cognitive process for our last moment, they will only have 5 only. So class, let's go to the table again. Okay, so this we go to the chapter number 5. Let's see for karma result, a process of death and birth. Page 225. Let's go to the page 225. 225. Okay, class, you see? Oh God, it doesn't look nice to see. See the English one okay okay, so let me just show you this one also. Okay so for this one we call it as a patisandhi the death moment. You see, class only got 5 only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Javana only. But this 5 Javana will reflect our future, our destiny. So you remember or not? If let's say before we pass away, they got the 5 of the Javana Chitta. If you see it's the nimitta, usually we will reborn, go to the jhana realm. If let's say you see it's the pagoda. You see, it's the light. Usually, maybe you will be reborn as a deva. But if let's say you see it's a jungle, possibly you will reborn, become the animal. And then, if you see the knife, you see a lot of chicken chasing over you, maybe you will be reborn to the three woeful state. 好多人驚㗎，真係。So last moment, I remember one case. I got one Dharma brother go to help to do the chanting for the last moment, and the person he go to chant is the farmer, farmer kill a lot of chicken before, So after chanting, he come back, he said, you see the guy who passed away look very terrible. He will try to strain the whole body and just like a chicken, go on to touch it, so meaning to say the moment he passed away, he must be very suffer, 好驚啊！你睇到咁多雞嚟揾你，你唔驚啊你啊？So that's why this is the last 5 Javana it will appear. Okay, before this we still have a 5 Javana experience, but not us, but for Buddha with the twin miracle. Twin miracle. Because twin miracle for Buddha or Arahant, they able to fight with the demon, right? Twin miracle meaning to say that you can play the water kasina and fire kasina together. 所以你可以上邊噴火，下邊噴水。So usually for this type of a psychic, just 5 Javana must be 5 or even 4. Let me see. Let's see first. According to our text, it mentioned 4 or 5 chitta only Javana. Why 點解咁少咧？Elena, you think 點解for Buddha want to play the twin miracle must be 4 or 5 Javana only? 點解you think You don't know梗係嘛？Elena, if you fight with the demon 個 demon 噴火出嚟你整水你仲慢慢嚟話Javana number 1, 2, 3, 4, 7，你俾佢燒燶咗啦So that's why for Buddha 係咪？因為你知道佢 play psychic 係咪？佢係 fighting with demon 嘅喎。你嘅火一嚟佢就整滅你，你嘅水一嚟佢就整火。 咁樣咧就我慢慢嚟諗啊，Javana number 1 2 3 4，咁啊死啊 ！So that's why 4 or 5 Javana 就馬上可以搞掂喎。睇到冇？你睇下嗰啲做戲嗰啲細機邊度會慢慢嚟嘅？冇噶嘛，一飛就飛上去，一打就打火，一炸打水。點解 ？Because 佢行到好緊要快，一諗係咪個火同水就走出嚟啦？Got it not? Yes, Elena. Anything?
I thought this one the Buddha is trying to do a display of fire and water.
Yeah. No. Usually fight with the demon. He display fire and the water. There's one case because he balik kampong, so all the residents very arrogant. So he want to, succumb them. So he used the twin miracle go up. 上面噴火，下邊噴水。Let all the residents, family member pay respect to him. From the text 係咁樣啦，跟住就係同嗰啲 demon 同嗰啲那家鬥係咪？你就可以有呢啲 twin 你快哦。So 5 4 or 5絕打咁先可以好快變啊，唔係唔得嘅喎。咁樣喎。And then yet actually according to Visuddhimagga 好有趣先。If let's say you possess a psychic usually one is not enough. For example, you got psychic you want to fly from the sky okay, but you must have a divine eye because you got the psychic the demon also got psychic. They can make the mountain to block your road. So before you fly you must have the divine eye to see there's clear already. Then you fly. Then once you after flying you must be brought down, right? Then you shouldn't let people see you. So again the psychic and the demon to see no blocking and then make sure no people witness you to fall down, come down. So that's why it's very hard for us to see people perform the psychic in front of us because they must have a multiple psychic and to make sure the whole process is smooth. 冇講飛到一半啦，又跌落嚟咁，冇咁樣嘅，就俾人更到。No, usually must multiple psychic 咁先可以 smooth 嘅。Get it not? 所以買 multiple psychic 哇，每一個油係7佢來個頭咯，所以 must be 4 or 5，你就馬上睇到 check 到好清楚clear the blockage 飛住個，咁有 monster 你係咪馬上就打走佢哋咁樣飛住，咁先快嘅嘛。Got it not? So Visuddhimagga very interesting 咯，有提起咯。Usually 我滿天飛嘅話咪加到一個 divine 咯，or maybe divine eye or divine ear 啦，我快聽到嗰度有嘢我就走，我飛過去咁樣。So all this，而家冇用噶啦，唔通你走去希龍將你飛過去咁你 passport 點樣抌人唔使抌人啦，去到嗰度馬達揾你講你點樣走嚟你飛過嚟㗎So actually not practical. Second, there's one guy also opened the divine eye. Actually, they got some killing cases in America, So he used the divine eye. He know that he noticed the corpse because the dogs and found. They have a notice for wanted notice for the culprit and also for the victim. You see, he got psychic. He know. He go to report to the police. He busybody. Then later on, police 收到係咪？走去挖，真係挖到開嗰條個 victim 全部打攞講點解你會知嘅 ？Then how you explain? Or you say I got psychic, so I know that the victim 咁你做個死鬼相信你Then they all suspect maybe you are the culprit. See, so that's why sometimes 有 psychic 嘅人係呢啲嘢they don't busybody because 佢哋有佢哋嘅 karma the killer and the victim they got the karma one. So you know, just keep quiet. Because karma will play the roles. Finally, the killer will be got caught one. 如果你 busybody 插手係咪？等下佢哋 police 講點解你會知㗎？你係咪你就係 killer？你就麻煩。Got it not? So finally people learn the lesson. Just shut up the mouth. Even though you got psychic, you know everything. Just shut up your mouth. That will be the best way. Just know the thing that's all. 咁
天機不可泄漏。
Anything go home? Yes.
Yeah, Sifu, just a question.
Yeah.
Just now you mentioned about, before we die, all this bawanga, all this chitta.
Yeah.
So can I say that, okay, when we are about to leave this world, when we are about to pass away, so let's say if we are just like, we have no sickness and whatnot, so if we know that the moment that we are about to go, during that period of time, we should so-called meditate and get into a so-called deep concentration. Then if the practitioner has any of the Kung Fu, which has the jhana and whatnot, then you get into the stream. But if let's say still 功夫唔到家 just on the calm mind lah. So it's still good lah, yeah.
Yeah. I think you will come back become a human, no? Because if let's say you can go to the jhana, there will be the excess concentration. Usually excess concentration meaning to say that you will come back become a human again. 咁樣咯。Usually you must got somewhere to go. It just depends. So as long as we don't go to the woeful state, at least come back become human, they're still good lah. 咁樣咯。Am I answering your question? Got lah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Already, okay, yeah. Okay, so next let's take a look. We talk about the number of the jhana. Let's continue. You see, so this is the 4 or 5 here. It's the quickest possible in the sense sphere. Quickest. Then besides, you see, now twin miracle. Then we know that. Then before preceding death is a 5 time only. So some is very weak. It's around 6 time. Or basically, we are 7 time. But it must be very strong object. Either 7 or nothing lah. That is the rule. So we call it as the jhana. So now we come to the jhana in attainment. Okay. Elena, can you please read the passage? Jhana in attainment, please.
Jhana in attainment. The sublime jhavanas for a beginner during the first cognitive process of absorption and the direct knowledge jhavanas always run only once. Then comes subsidence into the life continuum. The arising of the 4 paths endures for only 1 mind moment. Thereafter, 2 or 3 occasions of fruition consciousness arise, according to the case. Then comes subsidence into the life continuum. At the time of attainment of cessation, the 4th immaterial jhavana runs twice and then contacts cessation. When emerging from cessation, either the fruition consciousness of non-returning or the fruition consciousness of arahatship arises accordingly for a single occasion. When it ceases, there is subsistence into life continuum. In the cognitive process of attainment, as in the stream of life continuum, there is no fixed procedure regarding the processes. It should be understood that even many sublime and supramundane jhavanas take place in immediate succession. The sublime jhavanas for a beginner, etc., during the first cognitive process in the attainment of any jhana, a sublime jhavana occurs for only a single occasion owing to its weakness due to the lack of repetition. The jhavana of the 5th jhana that performs the role of direct knowledge always occurs for only 1 occasion, even in those who have mastered it, because a single occasion is sufficient for it to accomplish its task. The arising of the 4 paths, etc. Each path consciousness also lasts for only 1 mind moment, during which it accomplishes the abandoning of the defilement to be eradicated or attenuated by that particular path. In an individual with average faculties, the preliminary portion of the cognitive process of the path includes the moment called preparation. For such a person, 2 fruition chittas arise following the path. In an individual with keen faculties, the moment of preparation is bypassed, and thus 3 fruition chittas follow the path.
Okay, never mind, can stop first.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. 啊，今日我嗰啲 highlighter 啊，好似 short 咗咁樣樣。Since the last lesson 啊，哎呀，唔知咩原因呢？嚇，睇你睇，一 highlight 就 double highlight。誒，國空又 close 又 open again 啊，冇乜使得喎喂，點算好啊？係啊，真係艱難搞啊！ Try again。啊 ，OK 啦，用呢個咯，睇嚟啊嗬，I got it，咁樣啊嗬，哦 I got it，得。OK。誒，國空，你有冇帶書？你有冇揾書啊？Do you have a books 啊？國空 ，You got the books? You highlight the books. You mean you highlight the books for this abhidhamma? Or in computer? On the mic, có không?
I highlight on my iPad.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay, class. We have to go back again. Regarding for the first, the single occasion. Class in Abhidhamma, they got a lot of good single occasion. Only single occasion. Number one is about our death moment. Sure, just only one single, and first and the last. We only die once only for this life. And also, one the rebirth link consciousness, also only once only. Then besides these two, the next we only experience once. Now one is about the path. The path. Usually path is a 1 second. For a one occasion is good enough already to eradicate all the karma and also the psychic. Also, the one single occasion is good enough already. So let's come back to here. To the passage. See. So you see, according here, let's see Javana. Let's say. You see, for the beginners, absorption of the direct knowledge run only for once is good enough already. So where is the diagram? Class, again, we have to take a look to the diagram. So it's about, this is, let's see, this is about absorption. Okay, the absorption Javana process, page 169, the diagram, page 169. 169. Okay, class C. So this is the absorption Javana process. Okay, I see or not? Okay, what does it mean? Once only. Let's take a look to the to the JH. So class, this is the JH, the Javana. This is the one for one single moment only. Okay. JH, okay. Then again, also one single moment is enough is the PA. Class, let's take a look. PA. Okay. PA. JH and PA. Usually the first time we experience the jhana is only once only. One moment, one single moment only. Without repetitive. Because it's the first time for us to experience that. So remember, first time once you experience the jhana, meaning to say that you are changing your races, or we call it a kotabu, from the sensual realm to the sensual realm to the rupa realm. See, it's very wonderful, because we use to experience all the moment of our sensual pleasure, the hatred, all this. But after, the jhana, the first moment of the jhana, we experience the transformation from the sensual, the kama vachara, to the rupa vachara. Okay, so usually starting with one single moment, but once we're able to make it repetitive, or we prolong it, so we become a jhana. Okay, then second is also a very good experience by experiencing from from normal people become the sage. It's a transformation. Okay, so for the first moment we experience will be the path. We call it as the path. Let's take a look. So this is the path, path. Okay, either sotapan, anagami, arhat or arhan, sotapan, sadagagami, anagami or arhan. Usually begin only one single moment, but one single moment is already good enough for eradicate for all the defilement. But for FR is a fruition. Usually fruition begin with 2 moments or 3 moments, but once the fruition from 2 moments able to prolong to the 1 hour, 2 hour, that will be the samadhi already. That we call it as a fruit samadhi. Only who can experience? Only the sage can experience. But anyway, even though it sounds very good, once you experience the fruition, the samadhi, at the same time, your object will be the nibbana. Okay? But if you try to guess, we got another one, we call it Nirodha Samadhi. Nirodha Samadhi, eradication of all the feeling and also the sanya and the perception. That is only 4th stage Arahant can experience. If I let you have a guess, you think the Arahant prefer fruition with nibbana or Nirodha Samadhi? You think which one? 咪大細啦，求其啦。哎呀，OK one OK Elena 求其啦，哎呀唔使 two 咁先好嘛。Mr. Leong 1 or 2 one OK basically 2 is correct. What's the reason? It sounds fruition with the nibbana nice, right? But you remember fruition a lot of cetasika. So for the Arahant, they will choose Nirodha Samadhi. Because Nirodha Samadhi, once you go to the state without the feeling and also without the sanya, the perception, meaning to say you are totally nothing already. Because none of all 89 consciousness must contain, they all must contain the sanya, the sanya and also the feeling. They must contain both of them. So without both of them, meaning to say it is already out of the scope of the 89 consciousness, it's out already. So that is so wonderful for the Arahant choice. Mr. Leong, any question, please?
Yeah, Sifu, regarding this jhana, can I say that this jhana is in the mundane, mundane state, while the path there is in the super-mundane?
It is
and
correct.
Likewise, the Nirodha Samadhi is in the mundane stage. So they have eliminated this Samadhi to proceed to the supramundane.
The mundane supramundane is correct. But usually we say when we obtain the mundane jhana, we use it as a tools to do the vipassana, to proceed to the supramundane. Yes, you're correct. That is the right way. So we might get the two.
Okay. That means to gain the wisdom. Yeah, correct. Okay.
You must get the 2 first. Because this is a controversy issue in Theravada. Some claim that first jhana is not that necessary. It's too hard already and worry for the indulgence, you see. So they say excess concentration is good enough already. But actually, from the Nikaya, the definition for the right samadhi must be first jhana and above. For abhidhamma, if you want to attain to the psychic, must be the 5th jhana. So that is, we have to go back to original text. So Mr. Leong, be careful, because if in Theravada circle, sometimes they just listen to what the Sayadaw say, but we go back to original text. We have to ask, what is the original text? Because sometimes they say the Sayadaw, they're influenced by the culture. They may thought, oh, assess is good enough already. So be careful. This is always controversy issue, whether assess consideration enough or not enough for the Vipassana. Yes, Mr. Leong, you're frozen now. Okay, let's take a look. So this is what we mentioned here. Okay, let's continue. Okay, I see. Even the direct knowledge also once is good enough already. Direct knowledge. Let me show you the diagram for the direct knowledge. Let me see, got or not. A direct knowledge is a psychic. Chapter number 5, 6, 7. I think we don't have a direct knowledge. 9, 8, 9. Okay, direct knowledge, the psychic. No. They don't have the psychic here. They don't have. Okay, never mind, I can just show you a simple diagram, class. Never mind, just with the Pali is good enough also. Let's take a look. So this is how the psychic perform. Okay, class. So this is how the psychic perform. Okay, so you see this is a red circle. Then this one is a psychic. Okay, one moment. Okay, so this is, we call it as a Kama Vachara. I mean a Kama Vachara consciousness. All the Kama Vachara consciousness. So basically, one moment of the psychic is good enough to perform everything. So before you go through for this psychic jhana, maybe in a very early stage you have to think about that. Let me see what happened in Mr. Leong. In the Tushita, Tushita, just one single thought is good enough. Once you go into the jhana, then once you go through all this process, so when you reach to the psychic consciousness, that one single thought immediately, the Tawatimsa will appear in front of you. Usually psychic is very wonderful. One thought is enough to perform the job of the psychic. Like Jula Pandaka, the case of Mahabandaka, Jula Pandaka. Also one thought, he want transforming for 1,000 body. Immediately, one single thought, 1,000 of him can appear again. But anyway, you can just know which one is the real, which one is not the real one. Remember the case? You can catch 1,000 appear of you, but there will be some clue that you know 999 all is a fake one. Only one is the true one. You got some clues to know how to catch it. Remember the story? No people remember. So today homework, please go to what is the clue to catch the fake one? Homework a little bit fun now. That one very boring, abhidhamma. So you go to find out. Even though you transform 1,000 body, we know how to catch the real one, and the rest is the fake one. So this is the homework. Okay, class, let's take a look. We go back to the abhidhamma again. Okay, then here you see, okay, the four paths, Sodaban, Sadagagami, Anahagami, and Arahan. Okay, only one mind moment is good enough already. Then the version begin with the 2 or the 3 . Okay, you see, attainment of cessation. Class, the cessation meaning to say is a Nirodha Samadhi. Nirodha Samadhi. Then you say for Arahan arise for a single occasion, single thought only. Okay, so this is a supply jhana we mentioned just now already. Elena, this we call it abhinya. You see, once we talk about psychic or santong, it sounds very abnormal. But you see, Nya mean the knowledge, Abhi mean the extraordinary. You see, Abhyana meaning to say extraordinary knowledge, meaning to say once you have a divine eye, that is extraordinary knowledge. When you have a divine ear, it's extraordinary knowledge. Sounds nice, right? But actually, you can have an extraordinary eye, ear. It's very specific for you to become a bodhisattva. You can help people easily. Especially you become you can read people's mind, you can know people's past life, you can find out the best, the best method to suit him. So it is good by possessing the psychic to become a teacher. Okay. Yes, Mr. Leong, yes.
Sifu, this direct knowledge, some can interpret it as real knowledge, is it?
Real knowledge, usually no, we don't say it's a real knowledge. We call it abhidhamma, extraordinary knowledge, because usually extraordinary knowledge, what they gain is still the concept. For example, Mr. Leong, you see, I can read your mind, okay, so your mind will think about, okay, for example, you know guy A, guy B, guy C. So your mind think that I prefer guy A. So I got something, I got one gift, I give the guy A. You see, from the gift and the guy A, B, C, all is a concept. They are not the ultimate truth. See or not? So this is why we go, this is still not the real one, because it still is the concept only. Likewise, if I'm using my psychic to read your past life, for example, Kok Hong, so the past life is a king, the past life is a beggar, the past life is in the deva, and again the more past life is in the hell. All I know is what is your name and your status for that particular life. This is the concept. Only by knowing the Nama-rupa, that is the real knowledge. So if by knowing the Nama-rupa, that is not the psychic anymore. It's not the abhidhamma anymore. We call it as a vipassana. Okay, got it? I'm from a definition to answer you, Mr. Leong, from a definition to answer you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Then next, let's take a look. Okay, see. Now you see here is about, each path consciousness only have one moment is good enough already. Then we call it as a preparation, include the preparation, parikama. What does that mean? Class, you can go back to the diagram. You see, now this is the diagram. What is a parikama? Is a PR here. Class, take a look. PR. PR, parikama. PR is the parikama, it's a preparation. AC is what? AZ is a assess. Yeah, AC is the assess. PR is the parikama. Parikama means the preparation. Okay. CH means what? CH means change of the lineage. What lineage the change is from the Kama Vachara to the Rupa Vachara that change the lineage. And this is also change the lineage. From what lineage? From the normal human being to become a sage. So it's a sage, change of the lineage. I like this very much, change of the lineage. Here, next class, you see, this is the, we call the footnote, you see, change of the lineage. CN is the conformity. Conformity, nothing you just try to follow the next one. To follow the precede the front one, that we call it as the conformity. That's all. Okay. Okay. So this is what we know. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. At the time of the attainment of cessation, Sally, can you please read the passage? Sally, can you stop, Sally? Sally, can you stop? Can you stop? Off the mic. Okay, your mic is very disturbing. Okay, your mic, you have to off the mic. Okay, you have to mute your mic. Sally, your mic is very disturbing. I think you are not suitable to do the reading today. Okay, so let's please, Elena, please read the passage. At the time. On the mic, please, Elena. Okay,冇聲嘅 Elena Elena, please read the passage at the time, please.
I'm supposed to read it.
咩？讀呢個 at the time of attainment of cessation 呢度。
No, 師傅 I cannot read because at the side of my house they are doing some digging work for the drain, so it's very noisy.
Okay.
And also it's heavy rain. Sorry, Sifu.
No problem. Yeah, go home here, please breathe. Go home, please. At the time now.
At the time of the attainment of cessation, non-returners and arahants who have mastery over all fine materials and immaterial jhana can, by mental development, enter a meditative attainment in which the stream of consciousness and its concomitants is temporarily arrested. In such a state, known as Nirodham Samapatti, the attainment of cessation, all mental activity has ceased, though the body remains alive, returning its vital heat. To attain cessations, the meditator must enter each jhana, emerge from it, and contemplate its factor with insight as impermanent, suffering, and non-self. After reaching the base of nothingness and emerging from it, the meditator performs certain preparatory tasks and then resolve to enter the attainment. Thereupon, two chitta of the fourth arupajhana arise and cease, after which the stream of consciousness is cut off. The durations of the attainment is governed by the meditator prior determinations, and with training can be extended up to 7 days. On emerging, there arises first one moment of fruition consciousness, either of non-returning or arahantship, the former in the case of a non-returner, the later in the case of an arahant. Thereafter, the minds lapse into bhavanga. For detail, see chapter 9, guide 43 to 44. In the connective process of attainment, etc., this is said to show that in the attainment of jhana and fruitions, through practice, it is possible to extend the durations of the absorption. For beginner, the attainment occurs for only one jhana moment. With practice, the attainment can gradually be increased to 2, 3, 4 jhana, etc. While for those who have achieved mastery over the attainment, absorptions chitta occur in unbroken successions for a long period of time, even for days on end.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, 好快嚇，我哋就讀到呢度開啦。
Sifu,
Yes.
what is the, I mean, the first paragraph, what is a non-returner and arahant?
No worry, I will explain now. Okay, let me highlight first. Okay. Yeah, raise hand please once you finish. Okay. Okay, let's start talk about some story. The story a little bit related to us, but for the non-returner and also the Arahant. Non-returner means the third stage of Arahant. So you see Arahant we got Sotapan, Sadakagami, Anagami, and Arahant. So non-returner means the Anagami. So non-returner in Mandarin we call it as Pulai, never come back again. Arahant is totally or cessation already. Usually Anagami non-returner, if they're reborn, usually in the 4 Rupa Jhana. I'll remember 在第4场的五境居天 5 Visuddhi Visuddhi of heaven. Usually this is where they stay for the non-returner. Okay. So now this paragraph is a story regard for both of them. And not the story, is how they attain the cessation. We have a special name for them. We call it as the Nirodha Samadhi. Class, take a look. So this is the name, you see. Nirodha Samabhati. Or we call it as the attainment of the cessation. Well, basically, in order to attain to that, number one, you must be the third stage Arahant and fourth stage Arahant. Sadakagami and Anagami. Anagami and Arahant. Second, usually you must possess 4th jhana, the ability to attain 4th jhana and the ability to attain to the 4th aruba jhana. So you must be capable to master of it. And how it comes out. So let me show you. Besides you must possess the vipassana at the same time in order to attain the Nirodha Samadhi. Okay. So this is how the diagram comes out. Let's take a look. So this is the Nirodha Samadhi. Let's see. Okay, class. Okay, let me try to explain now. So number one, you have to enter to the first jhana. Then you emerge from the first jhana. Okay, so let me show you. So this is the first jhana. First jhana. First jhana. Okay, ST. First jhana. So you must go in, then you must go out from the first jhana. Then again, you have to do the vipassana. The vipassana for what? For anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. Okay, etc. So this is you go in for the first jhana, you come out from the first jhana, and you observe the nama rupa, anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then again, you have to go in to the second jhana. Second jhana. Then you come out from the second jhana, again observe the anicca, dukkha, anatta. We call it as a vipassana. So you are doing the vipassana here. Until when? Until you come to here. Now you see. So this is the number 5th jhana. But not enough. You have to continue with the arupa jhana. So this is the arupa jhana. So according to the diagram, class, let's take a look. So this is the diagram. According to here, you see, the last one is the base of the nothingness. You have to come out for the base of the nothingness. So class, this is the base of the nothingness. So this is the base of nothingness. Base of nothingness. Base of nothingness. Nothingness. So you are from the base of nothingness, you go in again, the base of nothingness, you come out, and then you have to do the atitana. You go to the non-perception, non-perception, then you go to the Nirodha Samadhi. Also begin with the first single moment. Class, basically Nirodha Samadhi, it attaches with the psychic. Very wonderful. If you attain the Nirodha Samadhi, you don't need to worry that if you meditate within a jungle, then the jungle caught fire, no, because Nirodha Samadhi, it come together with the psychic to protect you. Even though got flood, flooding, heavy rain, no worry. The psychic will protect you with the Nirodha Samadhi. It's very special. But according to Abhidhamma, you see, in our time, our Buddha time, it's very common for those who possess the Nirodha Samadhi. But even though you do the meditation, if we have a meeting, you have to present. Because in our time, we practice democratic, meaning to say one people, one vote. If you absent and without delegate the vote, you have been infringed a pacettiya, and then you will be penalized. So meaning to say that before you meditate, you can have adhitthana, you think about for yourself. Okay, now we're going to go to Nirodha Samadhi. Okay, if Buddha called us for meeting, I have to come out. You have to hint yourself, your prefrontal cortex accept the information, then immediately there will announcement, oh, meeting of Buddha called up, then immediately will come out from the Nirodha Samadhi. Then you go to attend the meeting, and if you feel safe, you don't want to come out, you have to delegate. Let people vote for you. One people, one vote. This is our time. Then second is Nirodha Samadhi usually can sustain only 7 days only. You shouldn't more than 7 days. Why? Because the nutrient in your body will be exhausted, fully exhausted. If you just persist, you will die for malnutrition. So 7 days is the maximum. You cannot meditate in Nirodha Samadhi more than 7 days. If nowadays people can meditate, go into deep jhana more than 7 days, maybe they are using different method, especially involve the chakra. Maybe the chakra here open now. So maybe they can absorb the energy from the light or what, so they can sustain more than that. I know the Taoism, they can fasting for 1 year without consuming any food. So meaning to say that is a little bit different from the meditation described in the Visuddhimagga. Okay, get it? Very interesting, all right? Okay, but I asked my teacher whether the Nirodha Samadhi is the method still available. He answered me yes. So one day, if you go to the Myanmar or where to do the meditation, you're still able to see somebody attain it. I think likewise in the Zhangchuan Fojiao, you see they got one part of the meditation, the attainment. You can get the rainbow body. Hong Guang Hua Shen, this is recorded as a rainbow body. Let me show you. How is this? How can I eradicate this? It doesn't matter, right? This close it. Okay. And this one is a rainbow body. The level also quite high according to the Tibetan Buddhism. This one. This we call as a rainbow body. Rainbow body. Once you pass away, you will transform, become the rainbow. Transform to rainbow. This is the highest level for the Nyingma. Highest level of the Nyingma. You will transform, become the rainbow body. So class, you can note it down. Maybe sometimes if your affinity is not in the Visuddhimagga, you still got other method to learn. So this is the highest level for a Nyingma or rainbow body. Okay. Let's see again. So you see, okay, let me come back again. So non-returner Arahant, Nirodha Samadhi. Based on nothingness, then finally, you can just 7 days, extend to 7 days only. Okay, then you can from one moment to extend to 2, 3, 4 jhana, then you become unbroken cessation for a long period. So we go to analysis by way of the individual. Okay. Yes, can you? No people can read already. Yes, Mr. Leung, can you please read the passage rootless and the double root herein, please, Mr. Leung.
Herein, to those with double rooted and rootless rebirth consciousness, functional jhavanas and absorption jhavanas do not arise. Likewise, in a blissful plane, resultants accompanied by knowledge also do not arise. But in a woeful plane, great resultants dissociate from knowledge are not found. Those beings for whom the functions of rebirth, bhavanga, and death are performed by either of the two types of investigating consciousness accompanied by equanimity have a rootless rebirth consciousness. Those for whom these functions are performed by one of the great resultants dissociate from knowledge have a double-rooted rebirth consciousness, the root of non-delusion or wisdom being absent. In such beings, the functional jhavanas, which are exclusive to arahants, cannot arise, nor can such being attain absorption either by way of jhanas or the path. Moreover, for beings in the woeful plane, the only chittas that can perform the role of registration are the three types of rootless investigating consciousness. In a blissful plane, such as the human world or the sense spheres heavens, for those reborn with a relinking chitta devoid of wisdom, owing to the inferiority of the rebirth consciousness, three-rooted great resultants do not arise in the role of registration. For these beings, the registration chittas are only rootless or double-rooted. In a woeful plane, where the resultants do not perform the whole role of registration, only the rootless resultants can arise in this role.
Okay, thank you so much.
You
Mr. Leong 係咪唔知佢噏乜係咪？一時就 double root，一時就 one root 係咪？唉，真係。 Okay, finish. Okay, class, I think you might not remember. Root is actually in chapter 3. Am I right? It's in the chapter 3, we talk about the root. What does it mean, the root? Actually, root is the factor to stabilize our consciousness. So what does that mean? The example is non-greed, non-hatred, non-stupidity, wisdom, we call it as a chitasika, or greedy, hatred, and the delusion. So that we got 6 root. If the consciousness without any root, we call it as rootless. Okay, why it is important for the root? We talk about the root. The reason is class, you and I, as a human, if we possess 3 root, especially with the wisdom root, meaning to say, once we practice the jhana, we can attain the jhana. We practice the vipassana, we can attain the nibbana. If let's say we are the 2 root, we born with the 2 root, meaning to say that without the presence of the wisdom faculty, for the wisdom faculty, meaning to say we are unable to attain the jhana and the nibbana once the practice. How about the rootless? If we reborn as the rootless, we are not here. Usually we are in the mental retarded center, or either reborn as non-genital or double genital. So there are this type of people. Usually they are very strong in defilement, very hard to practice. Okay, get it? So usually we can come here together, sit, we can study the Dharma. At least we are 2 root, double root. But it's quite hard to check whether it's a double root or the triple root. Even though theoretically it is, it exists. But you ask us to check, very hard to check. Very hard. But how we know that? Maybe through the meditation. Once, no matter how you work hard, you can't attain to the first jhana or do the vipassana, you cannot attain the vipassana, cannot attain the nibbana. It proves that you are the second, you are double root, but not triple root. The only thing you can do is you have to wait for the next life, reborn with the triple root, then and then you practice again. That's the only thing we can think about that. Okay, usually, why once you reborn, become the rootless? Why? Because according to Abhidhamma, you reborn through the investigating consciousness, accompanied by equanimity, have a rootless ahetuka rebirth consciousness. Do you feel very burdensome with this? Very burdened, right? Okay, but just remember that usually, when we first learn the Dharma, we say, I create greedy, hatred, stupidity, and then from here, I will reborn in the woeful state. But Abhidhamma, no. Abhidhamma is say, once arise with the greedy, hatred, stupidity, next, you will arise is the investigating consciousness. From the investigating consciousness, you will perform the rule and you will be reborn in the woeful state. See or not? You will reborn because of woeful state. With this the rootless resultant through the investigating. Okay. Then here you see they say the root of non-delusion. Number 1, the functional jhana just for Arahant only. You cannot arise. Just Arahant can arise, can have this root of the non-delusion only. Then I see in the human world, the relinking chitta for those, if you reborn or devoid of the wisdom, meaning to say you are the inferiority of the 3 root great result, and you are the inferiority, not very good quality. Okay. And then in the woeful plane, there will be the rootless resultant. So that's the meaning. Okay, we got the triple root. Let's see first. I think I put it to the next lesson. The analysis of the plane. Okay. Then I think after this we totally finish already. We finished chapter number 4. We go to the process free, the compendium. So I mean from the next lesson, what we go through is analysis the plane. We try to understand different planes. How about who can reborn there? Okay, then we try to finish the triple root. Because I start coughing, I think I stop here. So nice lesson for the triple root. Okay, then I think in the next lesson we will start to the free. The free connective process, meaning to say that it's about the how to say 六道轮回 the planes, rupa, arupa, jhana. How is the the feature of the being there? How long their life? All these regards are more story orientated. I know story actually abhidhamma. I mean the fact not that not that hard to digest. More for that you reborn there with a different realm. All this. Okay. Before I finish, I a little bit surprised. How come no people register either for the retreat? This is the retreat, 1 day retreat, or the graduation ceremony. I feel quite surprised because for 3 of you work so hard Okay. Yes, Mr. Leong, why don't you come to the graduation ceremony for the 1st September? 點解冇嚟啊？
師父 still not sure 啦。
not too long ago, right? 太耐咗係咪？OK How about Sally？ 點解冇 register 嘅你哋3個幾百堂咗，上到100堂都有喎，唔可以嚟攞你哋嘅 certificate， 唔可以見下其他 student Yeah, on the mic, Sally.
I'm also not very sure because
not very
I don't know what will happen.
Okay, too long ago. How about the 1 day retreat？ 點解你哋冇 register for any one day retreat？ 嗰個3 day 係咪已經 full 開啦？So 1 day retreat this one嚟練氣功then 我哋仲有3個位 for May， then July 有一個 ，then December 有一個。咁樣呢個係 1 day 嘅，點解冇 register 嘅？I remember Sally Elena 上擺嚟都練到好好地1 day retreat， 點解唔可以 continue 咧？Sally 點解唔可以
？Because 而家師傅 I am a bit very blocked because 我有一個 handicap brother，so my older brother passed away, so I have to take care of him now.
I see. Elena，
冇
time。Yeah, get it. How about Elena？ 點解 Elena 唔可以參加嘅1 day retreat 啦
？People not very sure of joining because 而家要做工 ，so 變開 my time is a bit tight。
依家做工咪好有錢開咯咁樣？
冇錢㗎喎，做工。
做工又冇錢咁慘OK Mr. Leong 咧，點解 why I didn't see you register for 1 day retreat啦？all this
師父 nowadays weekends I'm also occupied.
Occupied with other activity 啦，係 other activity Okay.
People, why your color changed to pink color already?
Yes, because so that I will be look more warm and welcoming. Especially I invite all you to join the retreat. Then I think I can get a better response with the pink color. Okay. 國空咧，你就年一擺就夠開你都未收成都仲未做到妖精你就唔可以 continue 一日你嚟喎，都未練晒 ，so
師父 I schedule is a bit tight I've been
you commit with other thing also.
No committed with my my work, my traveling. I mean traveling for my part time also.
Okay. Yeah.
Normally a lot of these these are long weekend and whatnot. I will do my part time
Okay. I got it. Basically, you should prioritize to your career and also your family This is understandable Okay. Because 我比較驚嗰啲 over enthusiasm 嘅人but 我哋呢度no need to worry. Usually here is under enthusiasm. Okay so we transfer merit. At least I let you know the product already At least I let you know 咁代表你參加可以參加Okay. So next year I will conduct about 6 times of the retreat 啦，2個月1擺啦。So the 3-day retreat 會做3擺啦，1 day retreat 又做3擺啦。So I make it like an Air-Asia ticket for the reservation. You can pre-book 啦好啦then you can come 啦Besides 你哋淨係想咁樣同我 Zoom 見面唔想見下我唔想同我食下飯哎呀真係because I think 就 over zooming 開，所以我想有一啲 face to face activity 啦Okay, we transfer the merit. Please palms together. I wish to inculcate more favorable consciousness through transferring merit to my past life enemy and relative.
To my
May they be liberated and free from suffering.
and free
Attain Nibbana
attain
and helping others to do the same. Yes, Mr. Leong, please.
Thank you, Sifu. Let's pay 3 respect to Sifu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.